After 40 years of government service, most of which was in Washington, D.C., my wife and I retired to Eastern North Carolina just about a year ago. Having had our fill of life in the urban fast lane, we bought a 60-year-old farmhouse on a couple of acres out in the country. The house we purchased needed a good deal of work, and while I'm pretty handy, a major bathroom renovation involving water under pressure, extensive tile work, considerable electrical modifications, and a whole lot more just felt way beyond what I was comfortable trying to do myself. So we started a search for a contractor. We reached out to 5 businesses listed as general contractors in Eastern North Carolina. 4 responded. The first, frankly, seemed off the charts unreasonable for the work we needed. We needed a bathroom reno, not a major addition to our house. The second had done some work on the house for the previous owner, and although the price we were quoted was in the reasonability ballpark, some of the work that contractor had previously done just didn't seem to be holding up very well. The third was just far too hastily thrown together by a sole proprietor who seemed like a decent, hard-working fellow, but who asked us only the most superficial questions about what we wanted and took notes on what looked like the back of an old electrical bill envelope. The representative of the fourth, Ronnie Warren of Precision Renovations, called us back the very same day we left the message and offered a number of different times he could come out to our home and chat with us in greater detail about what we were looking for. We picked a time, and he arrived a few minutes early, was thoroughly prepared, and spent almost an hour going over every detail about what we wanted. He took tons of measurements and copious notes. I was so impressed with his attention to detail and how thorough he was. When he left, I told my wife, "I love this guy, but I don't think we're going to be able to afford him." The next day, he sent us a meticulously prepared spreadsheet with every detail included. Finishes, paint colors, fixture selections, you name it. And to my absolute amazement, the quote he provided was only marginally above the one provided by the nice guy who scribbled a few notes on an envelope. Needless to say, we went with Precision Renovations. Long story short, we couldn't be happier we did, and for a whole host of reasons. As a threshold matter, it's important to point out that we weren't entirely sure how to best utilize the space we were going to be renovating. Not to worry, Ronnie had a number of very insightful recommendations about how to get the most out of the square footage we had. He thoroughly and patiently ran through all the pros and cons of the various options we were considering, all the while being completely clear about the fact that there could be cost additives if we elected one option over another. I can't tell you how much I appreciated the candor and upfront discussion on these sorts of data points, all of which, by the way, he was more than willing to put in writing to ensure we all stayed on the same sheet of music cost-wise. And when it came to doing the work, Ronnie, Jason, the whole Precision crew were all business and all professional. I've lived in over a dozen states and hired lots of contractors over the years, but there have been precious few, I'd say a class of single digits, who recognized that our home represented the sum of our life's work and who treated it accordingly. Precision's crew did precisely that. They were unfailingly friendly, respectful, courteous, and diligent, and I never felt anything but completely comfortable about having them in my home. There's a little video that follows showing the before and after and the amazing transformation Precision brought to our primary bath renovation, but the point is simply this. If you're looking for high-quality home renovation work at a great price in Eastern North Carolina, call Precision Renovations. You'll be glad you did.